So starting the test drive in this RAV4 plug-in hybrid. 302 net horsepower, so depending on how you decide to use that, it's pretty nice to have. But just also being able to get 38 miles per gallon on average with this thing in just the gas mode, that's why this is such an impressive vehicle. You really do get the best of both worlds, because most highway or most city driving, you can get 42 miles per gallon or 42 miles on a charge. That's fantastic. And then again, for longer trips, you're still getting close to 40 miles per gallon regardless. So again, it's just the best of both worlds there. But in terms of just how it's driving so far, it's pretty nice. You have the lane centering, and then you also have the radar cruise control with a 2.5 system, and it's easier to activate this as opposed to the driving assist that you get on the 3.0 systems. This is just a bit more user-friendly, I think. But again, once you get used to the newer system on the 3.0s, it's not too bad. But what I really like about the plug-in hybrid, even just the regular hybrid RAV4, is the transition from the electric power to the gas power is seamless. At least I drove a 2020 RAV4 the other day, and it drove like new. So when you go from hybrid to the EV power in the parking lot, there's not a lot going on. It doesn't scare you when the gas engine cuts on and things like that. So that's a big plus for people who you want to get to go hybrid, but a lot of the little stuff is what keeps them away from it. So here, just having the ease of not even knowing, I don't ever know if I'm in the hybrid mode, the electric mode, or what, but I like the system here. It's very easy to use. And they basically replaced, Toyota's funny because they'll name an EV the BZ4X, but then I got used to calling the plug-in RAV4s the RAV4 Prime, which I thought was pretty cool, and then they just went to calling it the plug-in hybrid again. So just weird. But anyways, it's just you get what you love about the RAV4, so ease of driving, space, but then you pair that with an EV powertrain, but you still are able to go longer distances without using a fast charger. You really just get everything you could want in something that you plan to be pretty reliable. And if for whatever reason you're worried about the battery or whatever going out on these, in 10 or 15 years, you'll still have the gas engine, which has a track record of lasting for decades. Now, the only other thing is the electronically controlled variable transmission. And that is actually a lot better than a typical CVT, in my opinion. I have one in my Pacifica hybrid. It just gets you that instant torque on the low end from the electric motor, and then you still have something that feels like a regular transmission when you get it going. Those just, in my opinion, just feel better than a typical CVT. Now with the XSE here, like how the screen kind of pops out and you get the bigger one as opposed to the smaller 8-inch that's available, this is a big upgrade. So if you can get the JBL system with this bigger screen, I highly recommend it, because it just goes with the newer controls down here, the shifter, how everything is placed throughout. But just a really comfortable drive here, getting incredible fuel economy. And it's just really quiet. And I will say, I don't know how the braking system works in these, but in my Pacifica hybrid using the regen system, it doesn't necessarily feel right. You kind of have to play with the pedal a little bit, get used to it, but that felt like a typical RAV4. I didn't have any looseness at the end there, so that was really nice. I'm gonna put it in a sport here and try and get her on the interstate if I can. Here we go. So very good pickup, very quick. And even though it was under a bit of pressure there, it still didn't feel strained, if that makes sense. Now I'm gonna put it into the eco mode here. And then we're gonna see if we can test out the cruise control once all these trucks get out the way. So we have the lane centering on here, radar cruise control, and a pretty good system overall in terms of just keeping the lanes, keeping the vehicle centered, having that safe distance between myself and the vehicle in front of me. It's a really easy system to use, very good at actually doing what it's supposed to do. Now I want to give one more thanks to John Roberts Toyota for allowing me to review this RAV4 today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on something closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now here at John Roberts Toyota, they do offer a lifetime powertrain warranty, which is great. Covers all of the typical gas powered mechanical stuff, so transmission, engine, the transaxles, all of that. So it's nice to just have that included warranty on top of what you get from the factory. But my final thoughts on this, I think it's a very impressive SUV, even at almost $52,000 sticker price. It's quick, it's capable, it's just so easy to get used to, but then again, you have that electric powertrain where the majority of your typical driving, especially around the city, will be covered just by plugging in your vehicle at night. But the crazy thing is, if you don't want to do that, it's not like you'll be losing too much sleep or too much money, because it'll be about as cheap to drive this thing on the gas engine as it is to charge it, because you're getting, again, 40 miles per gallon in the city. But again, just a great SUV, and it'll hold its value for a while. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Toyota RAV4 plug-in hybrid XSE.